Hello.
Right. Hey there.
Hi.
Hello. What? Haven't got any funny noises yet, Susan?
It seems quiet today, my laptop.
Good.
Let's keep. I'll mute just in case in a bit. Obviously, I haven't been working hard enough, so it hasn't got hot.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one thing. It's one of those things I don't really notice unless I think about it.
Yeah. I must remember at the end as well to stop the recording because some people have asked for it to be shared. So in the last one, we've got a little bit about our slides.
Oh yes.
Not that it matters too much, but
No. Oh, that's a good point. I don't know if you can edit. I suppose you can edit the recording.
yeah, I tried trimming it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't manage to download the trimmed version. I don't know why. It wouldn't let me save it. So I don't know what that was about.
Gosh, yes, yeah. I saw a couple of people who hadn't been able to make it yesterday.
Yeah. And then they're not working today, so couldn't join this one. I think it was there was an email in the clinical audit box.
Yeah.
Welcome to those that are joining. We'll make a start probably about 1 minute past, just to give people a chance to join. I think we were expecting about 30, so don't know how many people we've got so far. About 7, so we might have a few more.
Yeah, it might be similar to yesterday, mightn't it? People are hoping to join, but not actually able to on the day.
Yeah. Okay, so it has just gone 1 minute past. So we probably will make a start as we've only got 10 minutes today. So welcome everyone to the Clinical Audit Awareness Week and our 10-minute tour. Hopefully you can see my slides. I should have checked that as well. The slides showing, Susan?
Yes, they are for me.
Perfect.
Yeah,
brilliant. So yeah, this week really is all about raising awareness of clinical audits and celebrating that improvement work. And HQIP as well have a few events going on this week, so do keep an eye out because comms are promoting some of these. But today, yeah, we've got about 10 minutes just to go through a little bit about the Academy of Research and Improvement, introduce you to clinical audits, and then share some of our resources and processes. So my name's Hetty and I work within the Academy for Hampshire and Isle of Wight Trust and specifically the clinical effectiveness team. And we've also got Susan on the call, who's my colleague. So she's here to help with any questions as well.
Yeah, hello.
Thanks, Susan. So then, just start with a little bit about the Academy. So it's made up of the Library and Knowledge Service. And this is where you can access articles, they can access articles for you. They can look up the literature. They can also create summaries. So if you're not sure what the evidence is, that's a great place to start. Then we've got, as we've mentioned, us in the clinical effectiveness team, and we support with the clinical audit and the service evaluations. Then there's also the quality improvement team, and we've also got various workshops. So if you are a bit interested in clinical audit, we do have one called Introduction to Clinical Audit, and you can sign up to that on our Academy website. So do keep an eye out for dates coming up for that. We've also got patient engagement. So we have a really dedicated team of patients and they're called Side by Side. Don't know if anyone's heard of them. But it's all about really trying to do co-production. So making sure that our patients are involved in our projects and giving them a voice as well. Then we've got the Recovery College, and this is a great place to go that has many courses relating mainly to mental health. So you've got topics like understanding anxiety, and you can go along as a staff member, but you can also go along as someone with lived experience. So it's a good group of people. Then we've got the research development side of things. So this is all about developing topics, funding and growing individuals. So perhaps if you're interested in doing things like a master's or a PhD, yeah, that can help you. And then lastly, there we've got the research delivery. So that's mainly about us recruiting people for those national studies. So that's just a bit about us and our department. So then, what are clinical audits? So I've got a bit of a definition here. So they are a quality improvement cycle that involves measurement of the effectiveness of healthcare against agreed and proven standards for high quality, and taking action to bring practice in line with these standards to improve the quality of care and health outcomes. There's quite a long definition there, but just to get a bit of an idea of us in the room, can you just give us a thumbs up if you've completed a clinical audit before, or perhaps if not, any type of audit? I see a few popping up. Okay.
Auditing makes sense.
Oh, did someone got a question? Or did someone just accidentally unmute? It's okay either way. Okay, brilliant. So then just moving on then, this slide really highlights just some of the difference between clinical audits and the others on the slide. So what are the difference between research, clinical audit, service valuation and quality improvement? So as we're focusing on clinical audit, they really help us to identify if we are doing the right thing by comparing to a standard and then checking to see if the care provided matches that evidence-based standard. So I guess the main thing to take away is that clinical audits are specifically measuring or comparing against a set standard, whereas if you're doing a service evaluation, you're not doing that. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So then a quick question then, feel free to pop your answers in the chat or on mute if you prefer. But does anyone know who completed one of the first clinical audits? Any ideas? No, shock face. We did get the right answer in the team yesterday, but it's all right if we're not sure today. I'll give you a quick clue. So she's quite famous in the nursing world. Hey, someone's popped it in the chat. Rachel. Yeah, well done. So yeah, we've got a picture here. So yeah, it was Florence Nightingale. So just very briefly, during the Crimean War, she actually improved sanitary conditions in the hospitals for soldiers, and this resulted in decreasing mortality rates from 40% to 2%. So she identified that actually a lot of the soldiers' deaths were from preventable diseases. So improving those sanitary conditions improved the mortality rates. So yeah, little fact for you. So then, why are clinical audits important? So we've got a bit of a list. So firstly, to ensure that evidence-based practice is being met, to ensure that we enhance patient care and get the outcomes that we want, improve patient safety, plan for and show improvement, understand and share learning, and this can be done within teams, but also across services, involve patients and staff in improvement. As I mentioned before with co-production, really important involving our patients as well as us as staff. And then lastly there, just to give us an idea or a bit of awareness if we're not meeting those standards so that we can identify actually how can we improve if we're not. So a bit about our pages and some of our resources. So on the slide there, we've got two screenshots. So the first one is our CE page on the staff portal, and that explains a little bit more about us in the clinical effectiveness team and what we do. And you can also find all of our forms on there. So there is a little link there that's called the document library, and that has our registration forms, our report templates, and there's also some guides on there as well. So I know we're focusing on clinical audit today, but there are some guides that help with service evaluations. So things like guides for surveys, guides for interviews. So it has some really useful information on there. And then the bottom screenshot is for our SharePoint page. Unfortunately, that one is only accessible by Legacy Solent staff. But we do have a bit of a guide on there. So it's a clinical audit for dummies guide. So if anyone's interested, I'm sure we can download and share that via email. And hopefully once we all sort of transition, this will all become available to everyone as well. So in terms of our processes, so this really, again, is specific to Legacy Solent. But we do have similar processes across Southern Health and also Isle of Wight. And in the near future, this will all be aligned as well. And hopefully we'll be using one system as well, so it'll make it much easier. But first, what we ask you to do is to complete a registration form. So this asks you which service you're from, what's your project or your title, a bit of the background around your project, your rationale for it, and then the standards that you're going to use. And then we also ask you about your sample, so where are you going to get those cases from and your methods. Then once you've completed that registration form, you need to request approval from your service. So we've got slightly different processes depending on what service you're with, but in general, you'll either have a professional and quality standards lead or a CE lead who approves that for you and sort of gives you the go ahead. Then once you've got that, you then submit your form to us in the CE team, and we've got our email address there on the slide as well. And we'll then add your project to the relevant plan. So in Legacy Solent, what the setup is, every service line had a plan, and it includes all the national audits, all the local audits, all the local service evaluations, etc. And that's what you're hoping to complete across the financial year. And Susan and I keep an eye on that and keep it up to date. So then once you've got all of that, you can then undertake your audit, and then we ask you to write up your findings on the report template. So again, that's in that document library link. And I think Susan's just popped some things in the chat, so hopefully you can see it there. Thanks, Susan. And then finally, once you've completed your report, you submit it to, again, your service lead and then us. And then we process it and provide you with a registration number. And we also do upload all the reports to SharePoint. So we'll quickly just show you that now. Hopefully that's come across. So this is our SharePoint page where you can access lots of different things. But the main thing I was just going to show you was where all the reports were. So you can filter it by your service here, or you can just click on this section, which comes up with all the reports. So as you can see, a list here of all the ones that have been done recently. Just to mention as well, this will be service evaluations and clinical audit reports. So if it's got a CA, that says it's a clinical audit, SE is service evaluation. And you can use the search at the top there to search for relevant topics if you want to see what other teams have done or if there's anything similar going on. And just to show you an example of what a report template will look like. So this is our template, sorry, and this is one completed. So this was one done for post-falls review in older people mental health. So we've got a bit around the background, what their aims, objectives of the project are, the standards that they've used. So they've actually used NICE guidelines and Solent NHS Trust ones. We've got the sample, so they've taken 30 falls from the records, their methods, and they've got the findings with some nice charts. And they've covered a bit more in detail down here, but the template then follows on usually to an overall summary. And then at the bottom, we ask all of the staff to complete this, but this section is about what your project demonstrates. So does it demonstrate that your service is effective, has improved, included patients? So it's a yes or no. And we use those answers really to report quarterly or annually on the impact that our projects or audits are having. We then got actions for improvement, which is a table I'll show you in a second. And then whether you're going to re-audit or repeat the evaluation if it's an evaluation. So this is just to say really you're probably most likely not going to get 100% in your first audit. So it's always good to repeat and continue that quality improvement cycle. And then here at the bottom, we've got that action plan table. So what's the problem that's been identified? What actions are you going to take? Who's going to do them and by when? And just a reminder as well, it's really good that you can link in with our quality improvement team so they can really help with your QI initiatives, help you get that change that hopefully you get from implementing your actions. So that's just to give a bit of an idea. So we've just come over the 10-minute mark, but we're there now. So any questions? I'll stop sharing so I can see you all a bit better as well. No questions? Oh, go on. Katie, go for it.
Hiya. I was really late joining, and I noticed that it was being recorded. So I wondered, how could I kind of get the recording so that I can view what was happening earlier?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. We will share this one actually. I'm going to make sure
Oh,
I end the
fab.
recording at the end, and then we'll circulate it. I think someone's asked about the slides as well, so everyone can access the recording and
Oh,
slides.
amazing.
No worries.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all right. No worries. Brilliant. Yep, Abida, have I pronounced that
Yeah,
correctly?
that's perfect.
Okay.
Can I request for the dummy guide, please?
Yeah, of course.
Thank
What I'll
you.
do is I might ask Melanie, our admin team, to send the slides. We'll attach that guide and also the recording, so then everyone gets
Thank
everything. Okay. Perfect. Anything else? No. Well, if you do think of anything after this, do reach out to us. I think Susan's popped our email in the chat. Thanks, Susan. And yeah, we're more than happy to help. So thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you, Hetty. Lovely. Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.